and the director of the Texas Short Film Festival. We have an event coming up called the Texas Short Film Festival Fall 2022 at Slab Cinema Art House down at Blue Star. We are going to be showing all kinds of films from comedy to drama to science fiction to documentaries to series episodes, even music videos, just all kinds of entertaining, independently produced content from all over the planet are going to be screening in one place. It looks like it's going to be about a 7-hour screening block. So you can come and go as you please and check out all the films. It'll be a lot of fun. And one of the filmmakers from this event, Curran Sullivan, is joining us. How you doing, Curran?
Good, Michael. How are you?
Oh, I'm excellent, man. Festival's tomorrow, brother. We're excited. A lot of people already arriving in San Antonio. It's just an exciting time to be doing this event. And you make us look good on screen. Your Roommate, a web series, Best Dark Comedy Film Award finalist, man. Congrats.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's an honor. I just feel very lucky to be part of this whole thing, really.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. And I want to tell everybody what it's about, but I'm the dude who tells too much. So I'm going to go ahead and let you put the synopsis in your own words.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, so it's about a loving son who documents his life for his comatose mother as he moves in with a prank-obsessed stranger. So in essence, it's just a story about two outsiders learning to live with each other.
I was joking, but you might have me creating a bromance category here.
Totally cool. I'd be down for that.
Hey, man, you know, when I did a mockumentary category, I'd never seen anyone do that before. We had a horror comedy category. Now we're always copied. So if I come up with a bromance category, people are going to be copycatting all day long. But getting down to it, man, creatively, what was the decision process like to say, I'm going to spend my time, effort, and energy to create this series?
Totally.
Or film, I should say.
So I guess it was three main things that sort of like motivated me to do it. Number one, there's this Quentin Tarantino quote that went something like trying to make a feature film yourself with no money is the best film school you can do. So that sort of motivated me to want to, you know, I've been writing scripts and short stories for a while, but I'd never really tried directing or acting in like a serious way. So I wanted to sort of see what that was like. So I knew making this web series or just like a short in general would really be a great educational experience. And so the reason I went with a web series specifically is because I'm a script coordinator for a TV show, and I'm in the writer's room for a good amount of it. And I just wanted to learn, you know, I just wanted to be as educated as possible so that I could contribute to that writer's room without just like looking like an idiot. So a coworker of mine, one of the writers on the show, had made her own web series, and it was just two actors, one set. The dialogue really popped, and that motivated me to kind of try my own things. It's like, okay, this is possible. Like, this is the template. And I guess the third reason why I wanted to do a web series was because the first show I worked on as a script coordinator was called Hentified on Netflix, and it started as a web series. And I believe Issa Rae and Quinta Brunson of Abbott Elementary and Insecure, not respectively, they both started their shows as a web series as well. So just sort of like seeing how this proof of concept can then help you develop your show later or like sell it to buyers. That's really kind of what pushed me to really put a lot of effort into this.
All right. Well, production wise, I feel like every single production we do is kind of a little piece of film school. What did you learn in this one?
Yeah, great question. So I learned, I guess it's all like specific to your own process and stuff. I just learned a lot about like what I personally prefer when shooting stuff. I learned that I really like to do a lot of takes, like maybe too many takes, so that, you know, maybe your scene partner wants to kill you. But it's really just comforting, just knowing like the stakes are really low for like every take. Like you aren't going to get nervous. Like once you're through like 20, 30 takes or whatever, it's just, it comes way more naturally for me and Brian, the guy who played Damon in the series. I also think it's really helpful, and I'm sure like everybody says this, but it's really helpful to just be prepared, like in a very loose sense, like just have a rough, even if you just have like a rough idea of how you're going to shoot a certain scene or whatever, can just make a world of difference. And also, we shot the whole thing on 2 iPhones, so having your phone charge also really helps. And definitely back up all your footage because it's a nightmare if you lose it. I would and one more thing, I would say don't be afraid to reshoot something. I think we reshot the first like, the opening scene of the series. We had to go back 3 different days because we had, like, 20 to 30 takes for each day. It was nuts because it was just one long shot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, don't be afraid to do it again.
Well, that's the thing, once it's said and done and a year has gone by, you can sit there and explain to people, oh, we didn't have time to do this, we didn't have time to do that, right? But
Exactly.
what you're talking about, it's that perfectionist kind of perfectionist may be a strong word, but maybe that effort into the small details pay off in the overall project. I always explain to people that filmmaking is just a whole bunch of little pieces that add up to this greater sum. All the audio edits, all the video edits, all the places you cut, all the retakes, and all those things add up to a greater product. But when people see that greater product, man, it's they don't remember all the work they went into it. They just know if it's good or bad, from a consumer
Absolutely.
perspective.
Yeah. It's just the final
So
product.
congrats to you for bringing it because it's funny.
Thank
It's funny. It turned out, and it's very well planned and very well executed. And keep doing what you're doing. I think you're on the right track. And from the business perspective and a creative perspective, man, I think you're killing it. So good job.
thank you so much.
Well, what's in line for the future? More on of this concept. I guess it's a two-part question because you kind of got a series going on. So I guess part A of my question is what's next for this series, and then part B is like what's next for you, just in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for this series specifically, to be honest, I hadn't given it much thought until a friend of mine saw it and connected me with her producer slash manager. And she was like, "By the way, you should have a pitch for season 2 and season 3." And I was like, "Oh my god!" So I just quickly had to like write that up and everything and like prepare it. And I felt stupid for not thinking like I should do that initially, but yeah, basically, I drew up a couple seasons in advance and kind of how the ending. I don't want to ruin any or spoil anything, but just sort of how like the ending comes into play. It seems like it could be kind of final at first, and then could be more open ended. It would definitely be leaning more into the like horror side of things. If it were to keep going, it would still have like the comedic backbone that like made me really excited to work on it. But it would kind of have more homages to classic horror things. Like, and this is how. That, I don't know if I'm gonna like date myself or whatever, but like I think of like Blair Witch Project as like just one of like the classic like horror like low budget type movie. So it would sort of dip into like that vein. It would dip into sort of like the psycho vein. And yeah, I don't know. Basically, I would try and get any sort of like meeting with, producers who are interested in that sort of like thriller comedy, dark comedy mindset, and sort of just lay out those ideas. But for me, particularly, like outside of roommate, I think I would want to try and continue working on the show that I work on now on Paramount Plus because I love my work family there, and I think I'm learning a ton. And I'm also working on a horror comedy feature that's not roommate. And I'm just really into mixing those two genres. So yeah, the future just entails a lot of writing, basically, and then just sort of seeing where that takes me.
Excellent. Well, man, it sounds like you got a lot going on, and Psycho and Blair Witch is quite the range there. So it'd be interesting to see, what you come up with. I always love the found footage films too, and I know
Yeah,
Blair
exactly.
Witch.
That's the main thing. The other major influence on this was Creep, the Mark Duplass, Patrick Bryce film on Netflix. It's like an
Yeah.
hour, 20 minutes. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, like I feel like I already stole so much from this. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I just love. I mean, one of my favorite shows is Rick and Morty, and I love how they, nod their cap to classic sci-fi movies and shows and stuff. So, would definitely be trying to do that if we were to stretch out Roommate the series.
Good stuff. All right, my friend. Well, hey, I appreciate the transparency and all this stuff and talking to us about how you built this whole thing up. We're excited to screen it tomorrow. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
Yeah, of course. I'd love to thank the judges in San Antonio for the selection, and of course, everyone at the Texas Short Film Festival. And thank you, Michael, for taking the time to talk with me today. This was awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take it easy. Have a good weekend.